be seated.
Kuzmanovic, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wanted to get back to the issue of notice for just a moment to General Markača. Notice. Prosecution would equate notice to General Markača of crimes by supposedly driving down a road and seeing someone who was dead and automatically equating that with crimes committed by the special police. That's not notice. There is no report, no written report from the military police, the fundamental police, no referral from the HB main staff, the countless internationals crisscrossing Sector South, or any other entity to General Markača in written or oral form that was made to him that told him, look, your special police are burning and looting. Your special police are out of control. You need to control your special police. None. There's none of that in evidence. I wanted to just briefly touch upon one issue which relates to questions asked about the transcript in Brioni and General Markača, and his suggestion of accusing the Serbs of having launched a sabotage attack against Croatian forces referred to in the Brioni transcript. There's been some questioning regarding this issue as some sort of either criminal intent or character flaw or I don't know what. Even though this pretext for attack never occurred, under Article 37.2 of the Additional Protocol 1 of the Geneva Convention, this is a legitimate ruse of war. Feigning provocation is not a legitimate ruse described in the protocol. Decoys, mock operations, misinformation which are intended to mislead the adversary or induce him to act recklessly do not infringe rules of international law applicable in an armed conflict and are not perfidious. That's again Article 37.2 of the Additional Protocol. I want to talk in some detail about Mr. Celic. He's heavily relied upon by the prosecution and his credibility on the issue regarding Gruberi. And I want to go through as much of his testimony as possible to really stress what I believe to be the lack of credibility of Mr. Celic. And as described in P564, could have agreed with the experience of another special police unit in the area. When he was again reminded that P564 was written by him and related to his unit, he eventually admitted that the information in the report that was dictated to him was incorrect. That's transcript reference 7957. He failed to provide the trial chamber with any reasonable explanation for his failure to bring this to his superior's attention, meaning Turkov, because Turkov was the head of the Luchko unit and was Celic's superior. Lack of credibility. Transcript reference 8111 to 8112. Under cross-examination, Celic stated that he told Sajic that, quote, nothing had happened, that there had been no incident, no prisoner of war, nothing, end quote. Celic was then asked, quote, so you signed a report where you essentially could not confirm the information that was in it, end quote. Celic's answer was, quote, absolutely, end quote. Again, lack of credibility. When asked if it had crossed his mind at 8112 to 8113, when he was speaking with Sačić, to ask Sačić who told him about what happened in Grubery, Celic testified that he told Sačić to ask the group leaders what had happened. When asked whether Celic himself had asked his section commanders what had happened in Grubery, Celic said no. His lack of initiative is highly suspect. Again, lack of credibility with respect to Celic. 8113 to 8116. Celic was asked, quote, bearing in mind that what Mr. Sačić had dictated to you was a fairly dramatic and worrying report, did you not feel, as a junior commander, that you should call these men, meaning Celic's subordinates, back from leave and establish the facts of what had happened in Grubery, end quote. Celic responded, quote, from the point when I had the meeting with Sačić, there was no one I could talk to because the men were on leave, because I only went to Zagreb for one day. I spent the night there, and then I returned, end quote. Again, lack of credibility. P761 at page 41, which is Celic's interview. I think I need to go in private session for this, Your Honor.
Move into a private session.